Have you ever stared at your to-do list and felt that strange, invisible force pushing you away from it? Not a loud obstacle, not a real one, just a quiet resistance. You tell yourself you'll start in 5 minutes, then an hour passes, then the day ends. You go to bed frustrated, replaying that same loop in your mind. Why didn't I just start? And in that question lies the truth about procrastination. It's not about laziness. It's about the invisible wall. The invisible wall is that unseen barrier between intention and action. It's not made of excuses or bad habits. It's built from fear, perfectionism, and uncertainty. It's the moment your brain whispers, maybe later, even though you know it means not today. You can feel the weight of all the things you want to do, the business you want to start, the change you want to make, but something inside quietly holds you back. That's the invisible wall. And today, we're going to tear it down. Every one of us has stood before it. That eerie space where the idea is clear, the plan is written, the motivation feels fresh, but the hand won't move. The cursor blinks. The first step feels impossible. We tell ourselves we need more time, more clarity, or energy, when in reality, what we need is permission. Permission to be imperfect. Permission to begin without knowing the ending. Because the invisible wall isn't built by time management problems. It's built by emotional resistance, by the fear of failure wearing the mask of not ready yet. And here's the paradox. The more you wait to feel ready, the taller the wall becomes. Psychologists call it action paralysis. Your mind confuses planning with progress. You feel productive scrolling through productivity tips or organizing your workspace, but deep down, you know you're circling the wall, not climbing it. There's a quote from Steven Pressfield that perfectly captures this. Resistance will tell you anything to keep you from doing your work. That voice inside doesn't shout, it rationalizes. It tells you they'll start after lunch, when you're in the mood, when things are perfect. But the truth is, the moment you start, the wall begins to fade. The hardest part is never doing the task. It's starting it. It's pressing play, writing the first line, opening the blank document. Because the instant you act, your brain rewires itself. Action is the antidote to resistance. Let's break this down. First, procrastination is an emotional problem disguised as a logical one. When you delay, you're not avoiding the task, you're avoiding the feeling attached to it. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. That's why the wall feels so real. It's your brain protecting you from discomfort. But discomfort is not danger. It's just the toll you pay to cross from potential into reality. So the next time you feel resistance, don't analyze it, label it. This is the wall. Then take one small action, a 2-minute task, a single email, a rough outline. That micro movement breaks the illusion of the wall. You can't destroy what you're willing to move through. Second, perfectionism strengthens the wall. We tell ourselves, if I can't do it right, I won't do it at all. But that mindset is a trap disguised as excellence. No great work started perfect. The first version is supposed to be messy. Michelangelo didn't start with David, he started with the block of stone. As James Clear once wrote, you do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. In other words, stop worshiping the final product and start honoring the process. Build systems that make starting inevitable. Schedule short bursts of work. Reduce friction between thinking and doing. Make progress feel effortless. because every time you start, you chip away at the wall, and eventually, it cracks. Third, momentum is stronger than motivation. Motivation waits for emotion. Momentum creates it. Most people think they need to feel ready before they act, but readiness is a side effect of motion. When you act, even in small ways, your brain releases dopamine, the chemical of progress. And that's what turns dread into drive. Think about a rocket at liftoff. 80% of its fuel is burned just to overcome gravity. That's what starting feels like. But once it breaks through the atmosphere, momentum takes over. And suddenly, the impossible feels effortless. So don't wait for inspiration to strike. Strike first. The wall trembles when you do. Now let's go deeper, because here's the hard truth. The invisible wall never truly disappears. It just becomes transparent. Every time you chase something meaningful, something that matters, you'll feel it again. The fear, the hesitation, the whisper that says, maybe tomorrow. But that feeling is proof that you're on the edge of growth. It means you're about to cross into the unknown, and that's exactly where transformation lives. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." That's the invisible wall in a single sentence. Most of our barriers are mental movies, vivid, convincing, and false. Once you walk through them, you realize the danger was never real. So how do we dismantle it completely? Step 1, name it. Every time you catch yourself delaying, say it out loud. This is the wall. Awareness breaks invisibility. Step 2, shrink the starting point. Don't aim to finish the task, aim to begin. Write 1 sentence, do 2 push-ups, open the file. Make the action so small that your brain can't resist it. Step 3, anchor the reward to the act, not the result. Celebrate starting, not finishing, because consistency is born from identity, not achievement. When you see yourself as someone who takes action, the wall loses its foundation. And finally, step 4, repeat the ritual of beginning. Every day, every task, every fear, because the wall rebuilds itself silently each morning, and your job is to tear it down before it grows too high. If you take one idea from this talk, let it be this. You will never feel ready. You must act your way into readiness. The invisible wall is not there to stop you. It's there to test you, to ask, how much do you really want this? So the next time you feel that heavy pause before starting, remember, the wall only exists when you stand still. Move once, just once, and you've already won. Because progress isn't about giant leaps. It's about the courage to take one honest step, even when you can't see what's on the other side. So go ahead. Pick up the pen. Send the message. Start the thing you've been waiting to start. Feel that invisible resistance rise, and then walk straight through it. You'll realize it was never made of stone. It was made of air. And the moment you move, the invisible wall shatters. And in the silence that follows, you finally hear the sound of your life beginning.